Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Edinson Cavani is wanted by Real Madrid in January. Real Madrid wanted Edinson Cavani in the summer transfer window, but the club failed to make a move happen. Real Madrid won Edinson Cavani on loan in January. Real Madrid will wait until next summer for their main targets Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe. Cavani was also wanted by Barcelona on deadline day in the summer transfer window. I think Barcelona will reignite their interest in January. Obviously Cavani has lost his place in the team because obviously we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Now obviously we got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG. Cavani has got a good pedigree behind him. You know, he won a lot of trophies when he was at PSG. Back in May, Cavani signed a one-year contract extension with Man United. Cavani receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani has now got under a year left on his contract. Cavani has made 28 appearances in the Premier League for Man United and he scored 10 goals. Cavani recently come back from injury. But I can't say I want Cavani to leave because he's made an impact since he's come in. You know, he's scored very good goals. His hold-up play is good. His movement in and around the box is also very good. And he's good at creating chances. So there you go. I'm expecting Manchester United to sell quite a few players next year. There's a very good chance that Donny van de Beek is going to leave. Like I updated you earlier on today, Donny van de Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Manchester United following his Villarreal meltdown. Van de Beek visibly furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win against Villarreal. Van de Beek was caught throwing chewing gum in the dugout. Don't forget, Solskjaer rejected Donny van de Beek's exit because he said that Everton were close to signing him on loan. Many clubs have been in for Van de Beek. He's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Now, not so long ago, Don Hutchinson told Donny van de Beek he must leave Man United to save his career, and the other week Paul Ince said that Van de Beek has got absolutely no chance of staying at Man United. I've said Solskjaer has to start Donny van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. You know, Van de Beek played the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, and he made an impact. Obviously, Van de Beek started against Young Boys in the Champions League a couple of weeks ago. Solskjaer taking him off though at half time, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that because Van der Beek was our best player in the first half of that game. A few weeks ago, Donny van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. Van der Beek reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. A few weeks ago, Van der Beek's agent did a lot of talking, and don't forget Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. You know, this season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United, but in general he is a good player. He was very good at Ajax. We got Van der Beek for 40 million, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. There's a good chance we're going to offload Anthony Martial next year. You know, Martial is not good enough to represent the club. You know, Martial is finished at Manchester United, and it said the other week Man United are ready to sell Martial in January. Man United value Martial at 40 million. He says Barcelona are considering making a move next year. Martial has been a long-term target for Tottenham. He said Martial is open to joining another Premier League club. And Atletico Madrid were in for him last summer. Don't forget Martial rejected the chance to join Lyon on loan on deadline day. Before the start of the season though, it said Solskjaer refuses to sell Anthony Martial as he remains part of his plans. Before the start of the season, it said Inter Milan wanted him. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. You know, he's got 3 years left on his contract. He's scored 78 goals in 264 games in all competitions. We got Martial in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. You know, last season Martial was out with a knee injury for a while. Solskjaer was the one that gave Martial that number 9 shirt. There's a good chance that we're going to offload Jesse Lingard next year. Obviously, Jesse Lingard came on against Villarreal and obviously got the assist for Cristiano Ronaldo's winner. Played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. Put a pretty good performance out. Had some good chances in that. Should have got a penalty because Mark Noble brought him down. And Lingard came off the bench and scored the winning goal against West Ham in the league. And what a goal that was. Prior to that game against West Ham in the league, Solskjaer did say that Lingard will be a Man United player next season. Because he said he's read through and through. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next summer. A few weeks ago, Lingard rejected a new Man United contract offer over playing time concerns despite him being in the last year of his deal. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time. Earlier on this season though, Solskjaer did confirm that Lingard remains part of his plans despite that ongoing speculation. Last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Juan Mata, there's a good chance we're going to offload him next year. You know, he'll leave in January or he'll leave next summer. Earlier on this year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. But Juan Mata doesn't get in our 11 much now, and you know he's aging up and he's lost that yard of pace. But despite that, you know Juan Mata's had a good career at Man United. He's been with us now for like 7.5 years. Juan Mata has made over 200 appearances for Man United in all competitions and he's scored like 51 goals. We got Juan Mata from Chelsea in a deal worth 40 million. Brought him in under the David Moyes era. At the first part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. There's a good chance that we're going to offload Diego Dalot next year. Dalot is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Dalot obviously played against Villarreal. The only reason he played against Villarreal is because Wan-Bissaka was unavailable because Bissaka was suspended. He was poor against Villarreal, Dalot, but I thought Dalot put a pretty good performance out against West Ham in the Cup. Last season, Dalot was out on loan with AC Milan, and reflecting on that, he gained some experience. We got Dalot 3 years ago from Porto. We paid 19 million for him. Dalot's got a contract with Man United till 2023. Jones, there's a good chance we're going to offload him next year. Jones doesn't get in our 11, and Jones has always been inconsistent. Jones came back from that knee injury earlier on this season. It said when the summer transfer window was open, though, that Phil Jones is set to stay at Man United, after Solskjaer told him he remains part of his plans. This season is Jones' 11th season at Man United. He's been a long-serving player. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He's the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Eric Bailly, could be offloading him in January. And there's a good chance that we're going to offload Alex Telles because Telles doesn't really get in our team. Telles obviously played against Villarreal only because Luke Shaw was unavailable. Luke Shaw's just come back from a minor injury. To Telles' credit, though, he played well against Villarreal. He scored a very good volley. The goal came from a free kick from Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes executed the free kick to perfection. And Telles put some good crosses in from corners. Telles also did well against West Ham in the Cup, apart from him being the culprit of West Ham's goal, because Ryan Fredericks nutmegged him far too easily. But the reason we brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. But since we brought Telles in, we've seemed to get the best out of Luke Shaw. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million. I want us to offload Fred next year. Whether we do or not, I do not know. As you all know, I've got my strong reservations about Fred. And Dean Henderson, he wants a loan move away from Man United in January after De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. Manchester United recently beat Villarreal 2-1 in the Champions League group stage at Old Trafford. For the vast majority of that game, we was poor. But all that matters is we got the win. And it was good to see Man United get back to winning ways, because prior to that game against Villarreal, we'd lost 3 of our last 4 games in all competitions. And it was good to see Man United get revenge on Villarreal from last season's Europa League final, because Villarreal beat us last season in the Europa League final 11-10 on penalties. Now, despite Man United beating Villarreal, there's still Man United fans that are demanding Ole out. But I presume there's still some Man United fans that are Ole in. Solskjaer has been under pressure. Solskjaer's job is safe for now because, like I've already mentioned, the Man United board retain full support for Solskjaer. Solskjaer got very good backing in this year's summer transfer window. Obviously, John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, and surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, had backed him, but only because they'd been persuaded to. Like I've said to you, Solskjaer has to win a trophy, I'd say, within the next 18 months to basically save his Man United job. Gary Neville said the same thing. You know, Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did mention that we must leave a legacy of silverware. Manchester United should be winning the Premier League this season because we've got a title winning squad, so there's no excuses. And earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble winning team that Ole was part of. Obviously, there's United fans that want Antonio Conte to replace Solskjaer. Obviously, there's been some Man United fans demanding Zidane in. But to be honest with you, if we did eventually decide to sack Solskjaer, it wouldn't really solve a lot because, you know, when results aren't going our way and when we're inconsistent and when we've been inconsistent, not all of the blame stems from Ole. Obviously, there's certain players that have had to take responsibility. There's still certain players at Man United that are not good enough to represent the club. And obviously, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. Obviously, Ole is accountable for certain things. Obviously, there's a lot of United fans that have got strong reservations about Ole's decision making because analysing the vast majority of the games Ole's managed at Man United is being tactically naive. And I said at the start of this season that this season is absolutely massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. You know, this season is Solskjaer's third full season as Man United manager. You know, in the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There's an option of a further year, and we made the wrong decision giving him that new contract because I can assure Solskjaer will not see it out. You know, Solskjaer is our best manager since Ferguson, you know, despite me criticising him a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United. In December, Solskjaer would have been in charge of Manchester United for 3 years. But the reason Solskjaer has lasted as long as he has done is because he's a club legend. That's what has saved his job because we've endured very bad periods under Ole where he's been extremely close to getting sacked. You know, we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. You know, Solskjaer has signed 14 players as Manchester United manager. And we spent like 441 million under the Solskjaer era. And Solskjaer's endured, 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. You know, he's got rid of quite a few players permanently. He's also loaned a few players out. Solskjaer has got us to semi-finals. He got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season, got us to the EFL Cup semi-final last season. Last season got us to the Europa League final, and that was his first major final as Man United manager. He also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. So, yeah, progress has been made under Ole. In Solskjaer's first full season, got us a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, he got us a 2nd place finish. I like the way Solskjaer develops the youth, and when Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured that everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and Solskjaer's more or less giving everybody their chances to express themselves. But in general, you know, you've got to be honest to say Solskjaer has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. I didn't expect Solskjaer to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I'm shocked. You know, Solskjaer is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. So obviously you've still got Juan Mata here from the David Moyes era who is inheriting. There's still some players here from the Louis van Gaal era. Louis van Gaal brought quite a lot of players in. He must have brought like 16 players in. Van Gaal brought players like Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Rojo, Darmian, Martial, Shaw, Herrera, Valdez. So they're a lot of the players Louis van Gaal brought in. And obviously there's still some players here who Jose Mourinho brought in who Solskjaer's inheriting. Obviously Mourinho brought Diego Dalot in, he brought Lee Grant in, he brought Fred in, he brought Lindelof in, he brought Bailly in, he brought Matic in, Pogba, Fred, he brought Lukaku in, he also brought Alexis Sanchez in. So they're a lot of the players Jose Mourinho brought in. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. Obviously we sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. David Moyes is the worst manager we've ever had. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, and we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. Mourinho also got us a 2nd place finish in his first season, so you can say Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United. Man United did enjoy a very good summer transfer window this year. Obviously, we made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. Brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent around 141 million in this year's summer transfer window. We only managed to sell 1 player in the summer transfer window of this year, and that was Daniel James. Sold him to Leeds for 25 million. We loaned a few players out in the summer transfer window though. We loaned Ethan Laird out, Axel Tuanzebe, Andres Pereira, Brandon Williams, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. I'm disappointed that Man United didn't sign a midfielder in the summer transfer window as well. I'm hoping we can sign a midfielder in January or next summer. Man United want Declan Rice from West Ham because Solskjaer recently told the Glazers that he wants Man United to sign Declan Rice. Well, it said not so long ago that we ended our pursuit of Declan Rice over West Ham's 90 million valuation. It says Man United have been looking at Declan Rice alternatives. Well, earlier on this season, it said Man United identified Declan Rice as the #1 midfield transfer target for next summer. He said Declan Rice is likely to leave West Ham next summer as he targets a club offering Champions League football. When the summer transfer window was open, it said Declan Rice was unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. Rice has rejected a few contract offers at West Ham. He's got 3 years left on his contract at West Ham. Said earlier on this week that we was interested in Calvin Phillips. Leeds value Calvin Phillips at like 60 million, but there's nothing in Calvin Phillips to Man United whatsoever. Calvin Phillips doesn't want to come to Man United. He's obviously made that clear. He's happy at Leeds. Paul Pogba, I hope he signs a new contract at Manchester United. Obviously, Paul Pogba rejected a new Man United contract before the start of the season. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Well, earlier on this season, it said that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. Now, obviously, it recently said Man United must sell Pogba in January to buy players. Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola said a few weeks ago now that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires, because he did mention that Turin is still in Paul Pogba's heart. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United, but he did come out and say that Juventus have no plans to re-sign Pogba next summer. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga, obviously. Barcelona wanted him, Inter Milan were in for him before, Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him, and earlier on this season it said PSG are pushing to sign Pogba next summer. And it said he's set to join PSG on a free next summer. PSG wanted him in the summer transfer window, but they couldn't get him because they got Lionel Messi. And it said that PSG were willing to offer Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba's brother Matthias Pogba came out and said that Paul Pogba is yet to decide on his future and his contract situation is up in the air. Well, Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola has done a hell of a lot of talking. He's been working hard to get his client out of the club. He made an announcement back in December last year regarding Pogba. He said Pogba's career at Man United was over, he's unhappy and he has to leave and he's got no intentions of extending his contract. That's what he said, and Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against Leipzig, wasn't it, in the Champions League at the time. We paid 89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that is our most expensive signing at the moment, and this season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Obviously, we've got Harry Maguire out with injury at the moment. He's going to be out for a few weeks. Solskjaer easily confirmed. Rashford's still out, but Rashford is close to returning. And Amad Diallo's out. Luke Shaw, like I mentioned, has just come back from a minor injury. So that's it. And obviously Sancho, he's not enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. But like I've said, it does take some time for some players to settle in. Solskjaer has played him on the left a few times. Like I've said, he's not that effective on the left. He's much better on the right than he is on the left. Sancho is predominantly, though, a right winger. I think Sancho can also play on the right wing. Don't forget Borussia Dortmund recently warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Dortmund's CEO said that Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. So yeah, tomorrow morning I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of the game against Everton. So take care, God bless guys. My channel's name is Red Devil 24, so subscribe if you wish.